Welcome to Gaia's Love, a podcast of brief messages to help humanity bridge the gap to the new earth. My name is Vivienne Gerard. It is my delight to be a scribe for consciousness today, sharing the wisdom that flows through from Source. Here we go. Episode 130. It is Tuesday today. Kind of a foggy gray day here in Cincinnati, but I think 50 or 60 degrees. It's so warm. I had just a little sweatshirt on this morning when I was outside, and there was no cold shivers down my spine at all, which is such a good feeling for February, for the early in this month. We're supposed to be in the heart of winter. And it just feels like such a treat to have a day like today. So I arrive with a little bit of the giggles. I have just been cracking myself up this morning. And so I'm just going to share some of it, and we'll see where this goes. I have been moving pretty quickly over the last few days with creating quite a bit of content and hosting events. There's just been a lot happening. And when I sat down to meditate before this recording, I was like, I've got to have an idea. What could I possibly talk about? There's got to be something. And most often, there is immediately some sort of idea or theme that comes forward. And I got nothing. I had nothing the whole time through my meditation. And I just started laughing because it's, once again, another test that I feel my guides, my soul, Source is presenting. It's like, and keep surrendering. You have no control. This is not your space on Gaia's Love. This is a collaboration of all the energies that, I feel supporting this healing on our planet. And that's not mine to control at all. And so I was just laughing at the absurdity of starting a recording with no idea of what I'm going to talk about. And in my meditation, when I have that feeling, this is what I do each Sunday for my meditation calls, the group meditations. I sit down in my chair with my phone and just make sure I have support energetically around me. I call in my guides and Source, and I'm like, here we go. And it's completely unknown. I have sort of a feeling that we're going to do some grounding and releasing, and maybe there'll be some energy that comes through from Source. And also I have no idea what the words are going to be that come out of my mouth. And it is such magic and such fun for me on Sundays. I've described it to my friends. It's like I'm on a surfboard and there's this wave that is starting to come towards me, and I just hop on the wave and I just ride the energy of the wave wherever it's going to take us. And I can feel, I would imagine this is what it feels like to a surfer. You can feel the current of the water through the board. You can feel the momentum of which direction to move your body ever so slightly, or lean forward, lean back, or go slower, go faster. You can feel that energy moving from the water into the board, and then you adjust your body accordingly. And I feel like that on the Sunday meditations. It's like, here we go, and I have no idea where we're going. But it's always just so incredible because it's this co-creation of energy. God, Source, me, my soul, my guides, and then all of the people who gather live for the call, but also those who listen to the recording later. All of that energy arrives in that one moment as I'm creating the content, creating the meditation. And so I was feeling that when I was getting ready for today's podcast. I'm like, oh no, are we doing it here too? Like, I have no idea what it's supposed to be about. And right as I was wrapping up my meditation and getting ready to, turn the recording on for this podcast, I heard one word, and it was potluck. And I was like, potluck? So I looked up the definition because I think I understand what potluck is and what it means, the definition of potluck. is this communal gathering where each individual adds some component of the meal so that all may eat together. So each one brings something to contribute to the whole. And I was like, of course. Of course that's what we do in this space, right? I show up. Gaia, Earth, is always sending some vibration through to me. There's always some feeling or sense of God or source in around me, holding me. And then my soul just starts contributing whatever feels relevant in the moment through the words that come out of my mouth. And that energy is also fed by all who listen to this podcast. So I can sense the vibration of where people are as I'm tuning in. And each of you bring your energetic contribution to what I hold in this vibration of Gaia's love. And so it's a communal gathering. It's a potluck. And it changes all the time. So sometimes I really have a good sense of what it is that needs to be said. And other times I'm not providing anything of the main meal. I'm providing perhaps the home. That's it. There's no food. I have no idea what the food is. I just arrive and drop in with you. It was such a perfect word and such a great vibration for my guides to offer, potluck. It's also, it's a little irreverent, it's a little funny. Potluck, you never know. You never know. You could have 5 salads at a meal and no meat. You could have 4 of the same desserts and then chips. You never know with a potluck what you're going to get. And that's also just such the adventure of it. How's it going to play out? We don't know. Are you going to get food? Of course you'll eat something, but is it going to be what you most want or what you have to eat because that's what's provided? That's the joy of a potluck. And it's the same here for this space. Sometimes the meal, the nourishment that you'll receive here is exactly what you needed in the moment. And other times you may be listening and you're like, I don't know what she said. I don't know why it matters. She's just chattering on about whatever. It's so not relevant. I get that from my husband quite often. He's like, you went way over the 15 minutes. Or I have no idea where you were going when you started, but you seem to bring it together by the end. My greatest critic and my greatest love. It's so fun. He holds both for me. But there's that element of surprise in the unknown, in a potluck. And that is one of the thrills of this space for me, is as much as I think I have a plan, as much as I try to monitor and make sure I'm not repeating myself and that there's always some new content or new story or new something, it's not my space. It's not my space. It is a collaboration, a potluck of mainly Gaia, Earth, and God, Source. And then this crazy mess that we call humanity with me as the voice. It's just fun. It's a lot of fun for me. So as we arrive today, we had a new moon in Aquarius yesterday, and I created one of the most beautiful, I shouldn't say I allowed the energy to flow through me of one of the most beautiful meditations I remember making ever. It was just gorgeous and filled with such love and such joy for this life and the gift of being a soul in a human body. And after big creations where we touch we touch God, we touch Source, sometimes the next day there just isn't much more to say. There isn't much more to add. And so I just rest. I rest in this space and revel in potluck. We're all co-creating this together, and what fun. What fun, what an adventure. And who knows what is yet to arrive, but it's good. It's so good. Okay. Maybe tomorrow I'll know what we're going to talk about. Have a beautiful Tuesday. If you want to share your thoughts, your reflections, your ideas, we have Soul Stories tonight, which is live conversation chat video with me so that we can ponder all that has been coming up. We can talk about the new moon in Aquarius and what it means to you, what it means to me, how we bring that beautiful energy into humanity in really powerful ways. So if you want to actually raise your voice and be heard in this potluck space, come over to Soul Stories and we'll play over there. All right. So much love to you today. Have a beautiful Tuesday, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to today's vibration. Let's take this message of pure love out into all of our communities and continue expanding love here on Gaia. So much love from my heart to yours.